Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, we're going to be talking through some player props I like over on Prizepicks for the Week 11 Thursday Night Football game that we got between the Patriots and the Jets. Now, this is not the most exciting Thursday Night Football game, I'll be honest. It's a game where, the Patriots are huge favorites. The Jets have been like one of the worst teams in the NFL. They've had one of the worst offenses in the NFL. They're just a boring team to watch, but it's a primetime game. I know a lot of you guys are going to be watching this game. I'm going to be watching this game. Figured I'd give you guys a couple player props I like for this game. We got two plays that we're going to break down. We're going to give some information, some analysis behind why I like each one of these plays. Now, before we do that, make sure that you guys hit that like button down below if you enjoyed these Prizepicks videos. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button as well. And if you guys are new to the channel, if you are new to Prizepicks, if you don't have a Prizepicks account, make sure that you go sign up. Use that promo code NOAH when you do sign up for Prizepicks with my promo code and play $5. You'll get $50 worth of free lineups just for signing up and using code NOAH. And then also, we do have a partnership with Sleeper, so I do want to give a quick shout out to Sleeper. If you guys don't have an account over on Sleeper, you can download the Sleeper app, use promo code NOAH over there, and you'll get your first deposit matched up to $100. You'll also get a $20 free entry when you sign up and use that code NOAH. And to get that free entry, it's no deposit required, so you get that just for making an account. You don't have to put in any money. So this is a way for you to try out the Sleeper app, pretty much risk-free, get that free $20 entry, use it to your advantage. Hopefully you'll win some money off that, and that can be a way for you to try and start to build up your bankroll over on Sleeper. But I highly recommend you guys get over to Sleeper, take advantage of this new user offer. Again, if you don't have a Sleeper account, use that promo code NOAH when you do sign up. But let's talk about some Prizepicks plays here for this Week 11 Thursday Night Football game. Now, I do want to recap the plays from our last video, guys, which was on Monday night, or our last NFL video was for Monday Night Football for the Eagles and Packers game. Gave out two props Monday night. Sadly, we went 0-2 on our two plays Monday night. Both plays, barely lost. We took Saquon Barkley over 15 fantasy score. I think Barkley finished with like 13.9 or something like that, like 14 fantasy points. There was a chance that maybe the game would have went to overtime, and if we would have got overtime, we probably would have cashed both plays. But we saw that field goal at the end there. The Packers kicker, completely missed that field goal to send it to overtime. Saquon came up just short of his fantasy score, and then we took Christian Watson over 2.5 receptions. He finished with 2 receptions. Had a play, or there was a reception he got that got taken off because of a penalty. So should have had 3 receptions, but a penalty took away 1, finished with 2. Super annoying. It's just one of those days. But, we'll get back out of here, guys, for Thursday Night Football. 2 plays. Let's see if we can bounce back and go 2-0 on these 2 plays. So the first prop that I'm liking for Thursday night is a receiving yards prop. And we're going to go to Breece Hall. I like Breece Hall for more than 14.5 receiving yards. Now, the Jets passing game, I really have no confidence in. Like, you look at the prop lines for these Jets pass catchers. The highest line is 34.5 receiving yards, and that's on their tight end. Like, clearly the sports books are not projecting a lot of pass game usage and pass game production for the Jets here, and it makes sense because the Jets have had like the worst pass offense in the NFL by a wide margin. They're a run first team. They're not a team that throws the ball much. Justin Fields, you look at his pass yards prop for Thursday night, and it's set at 137.5. I've been doing Prizepicks for like 5 years, I think like 5 years now. I don't think I've ever seen an NFL quarterback with a pass yards prop that low, like that, at least that I can remember, which is just crazy. Just goes to show you like how bad the Jets offense is right now. But if we're looking at this line on Breece Hall, this over on Breece Hall, this is a line that he realistically could hit in one catch. And I think he did that last week. He had like a screen pass that he took, I think, 50 yards to the house. Had one catch last week for 42 yards. The week before that, he had 14 yards on 2 catches, 14 yards on 2 catches. There was one game where he didn't get any catches. Then he had 4 catches for 42 yards, 5 catches for 30 yards, 4 catches for 31 yards. Like, Breece Hall, he has historically been a really good pass-catching running back. Since he's come into the NFL, he's been a guy that has typically averaged 3 to 4 targets per game. He was used heavily in the passing game when Aaron Rodgers was the quarterback. This season, with Justin Fields, with Tyrod Taylor, they don't target him as much because those are both like dual threat quarterbacks. Those are guys that don't check down to the running backs a ton. But just given all the injuries that the Jets have right now, obviously they don't have their top receiver, no Garrett Wilson. You need to get your best players the ball in space. And we saw them do that last week with Breece Hall when he took that screen pass to the house. Like, you would think the Jets would at least draw up a couple screens for Breece Hall. Just get your best player the ball in space and let's see what can happen. I'm expecting at least a couple targets here for Breece Hall. I mean, you look at his receptions prop, he's favored for 1.5 receptions, so he's expected to get 2 catches here. And I think if he gets 2 catches, he's got a pretty good chance at getting 15 yards. There's been a couple games lately where he's had 2 catches for 14 yards, so he's lost by the hook. But this is a guy that has shown big playability. You get him the ball in space, he can make things happen. He's a really good pass-catching running back. It's a game where you expect the Jets to probably be forced to throw. Like, the Jets could be down 21 going into the fourth quarter and just run the ball because, like, that's what the Jets do. They don't give a shit. They're just going to run the ball constantly. But you would think they're at least going to have to throw a little bit here in this type of game script where you're, double-digit underdogs on the road. And, I mean, Breece Hall, realistically, like, if you told me Breece Hall led the team in receiving yards on Thursday night, like, I would not be surprised at all. I think it's legit a possibility. I think looking at some alt lines on Breece Hall makes some sense because there's definitely a scenario where they just use Breece Hall a ton in the passing game because, like, he's one of their best pass catchers right now because they just don't have anyone else. They're throwing out guys that, have barely played this season, like Isaiah Williams and, Arian Smith. I mean, rookies that have, like, barely played. Isaiah Davis, their backup running back. Like, these are the guys they have to catch passes. So I'm expecting them to try and get Breece Hall the ball, whether it's on the ground and through the air too. I think we got a good chance of at least a couple targets, like 3 to 4 targets. And with that type of volume, I think 14.5 yards is definitely a low line on Breece Hall. And the matchup is also really good here. That is something that I did want to hit on. So if you look this season, the Patriots have been like one of the toughest teams to run on. The Jets, they're still going to want to run the ball because that's just what the Jets do. But you would think if they're going to have success offensively in this game, it's probably going to have to be through the air because, like, the Patriots this year, they're allowing the fewest rush yards. They're not a team that teams really run on at all. They're like giving up the 5th fewest attempts. However, if you look what they have allowed to pass catching running backs, the Patriots this season, they're giving up the most targets, most receptions, and 6th most receiving yards to running backs. So, like, pass catching running backs have actually been able to do a lot of damage against the Patriots this year. As receivers, obviously. So, yeah, I think the matchup's actually pretty good here for Breece Hall as well. So, like that is our first prop for Thursday night. And then the other prop that I like is a fantasy score. And I like Stephon Diggs for more than 12.5 fantasy score. So, Stephon Diggs should be in a really, really good matchup here. The Jets, their secondary is depleted right now. They traded away their top corner, Sauce Gardner. Their backup, I don't know exactly how to say his name. I think he actually went to Azariah Thomas, Azariea. I think he actually went to Florida State, so I should know him because I'm a big Florida State fan. I think he did go to Florida State. Yeah, he did go to Florida State. I do remember him. Yeah, he was the guy that was filling in for Sauce Gardner, and he's out right now too. So, like, this Jets secondary is depleted. You look at the Jets stats this year, like, they've actually not been bad against opposing wide receivers. But I definitely expect them to be a lot worse now that they don't have Sauce Gardner. They're missing some other corners as well. This should be a pretty good matchup for Stephon Diggs. This should be a spot where the Patriots can have success moving the ball through the air. And Stephon Diggs has been one of Drake May's top targets this year. The Patriots, they are another team that's dealing with some injuries right now to the wide receiver core. They're going to be without Kayshon Boutte for this game. Now, Boutte has not been like a super high volume receiver. He's only averaging like 3 targets per game. But he does have 430 yards. He does have 5 touchdowns this year. He's been a guy that has shown some big playability. He's been able to get a couple targets. You would think Diggs probably just be in line for even more targets. Like, I think last week it was Matt Collins who got a lot of the volume. Like, he had 10 targets last week. I don't think we can expect Matt Collins to have 10 targets again. Like, that's obviously an outlier. I think if there's any guy that's going to have double-digit targets on this Patriots offense, it's going to be Stephon Diggs. And like I said, it should be a really good matchup for Diggs. Diggs has obviously shown the ability to go over this fantasy score line. He's gone over in 3 out of his last 4 games. He has scored a touchdown in 3 straight games. Obviously, touchdowns are super important because they're worth 6 points each for fantasy score. And then you got to factor in receptions as well. Diggs has typically been a guy in his career that has been able to rack up a bunch of receptions. He's been a guy that, can get you like 5, 6 receptions sometimes. So far this season, he's had a couple games where he's gotten like 5 receptions. Last week he had 5 receptions. He had 7 against Tennessee. He had 10 against Buffalo, 6 against Carolina. He's got that upside where he can get you 5, 6 receptions. And obviously, for Prizepicks fantasy score, those are worth a point each. It's huge when you can get receivers that can catch a bunch of passes. So the volume should be great. I think the matchup's really good. I think this is definitely a spot where we could see another good game from Stephon Diggs here. I think 12.5 fantasy score, given where his prop lines are set at for Thursday night, feels a little bit low. I mean, you look at his yards prop, that's set at 54.5. His receptions prop, I looked on sportsbooks, he's favored for over 4.5 receptions. So if he gets 60 yards and 5 receptions, I mean, that's 11 fantasy points. And then you got to factor in his potential for touchdowns. Like I said, if there's any Patriots pass catcher that's likely to score a touchdown, I think Diggs has the best chance to score a touchdown of any of the Patriots pass catchers. If we're just talking about the Hunter Henrys, your Matt Collins, those type of guys. And look at his competition for targets. I mean, he doesn't have much competition for targets. Guys like Kyle Williams, Matt Collins. I know Matt Collins had 10 targets last week, but these are not guys that have shown an ability to earn a bunch of targets at the NFL level. Whereas Stephon Diggs, we've seen plenty of times he's been a guy that's been able to get 8, 9, 10 targets in a game. Hasn't been quite as high volume this season as he was when he was on the Bills, but he's still been a really good receiver. He's been able to earn volume, been able to get into the end zone too, which is obviously huge. Matchup's really good. There's just a lot of boxes you can check in this spot for Stephon Diggs. So we're going to roll with these 2 plays, guys, for this Week 11 Thursday Night Football game. I know it's a gross game, Patriots and Jets, but still wanted to give you guys a couple plays that I like from this game. And as always, hopefully we can hit these plays and we can make some money on this Thursday night game. But make sure that you guys hit that like button down below if you do enjoy these Prizepicks videos. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button as well. And again, guys, if you don't have a Prizepicks account, use that promo code NOAH when you sign up. Play $5, you'll get $50 worth of free lineups just for signing up and using code NOAH. But yeah, good luck tonight, guys. Let's win some money, and I will see you in the next video.